fellow enthusiast, if you want to know my 4 tips for a great marriage, then this video is for you.
Here we go.
Hey fellow enthusiasts, this is Tommy Lanham, and I am on a mission to break the monotony of the mundane and the mediocre by bringing as much enthusiasm to as many businesses, ministries, marriages, and individual lives as I possibly can. Hey, through 18 years of marriage, my wife and I have been through a journey of learning, failing, learning from our failures, and eventually experiencing some successes in our marriage as well. And there are just some things that we have learned through this process, and I want to share those with you right now because I think enthusiasm needs to fill our marriages in order for it to fill our lives in other areas. So here's my 4 tips to having a great marriage. First and foremost, you and your spouse need to keep your eyes on Jesus. I believe that Jesus is the most important factor in any relationship. So that's the first tip. Second tip is good communication. The better you communicate with each other, the better your marriage will be. My wife and I went on a retreat back in 2014 where these top 2 tips, keeping our eyes on Jesus and good communication, were taught to us in a way that we better understood them and we were able to better implement them. And in that retreat, we learned a couple of things that really helped us. One of them in keeping Jesus as our focus in our marriage is the fact that we pray with each other each night and we pray for each other each night. It's really difficult to be mad at your spouse when you're praying for them. So that was a good practice for us. Another practice that we call dialogue, which is a exercise that we may cover in another video, but it's a practice where we write letters to each other each night and then we come together and discuss those letters. That has helped us tremendously with keeping our eyes on Jesus and practicing good communication. Tip number 3, having a shared purpose, values, and goals. When we are on the same page, moving in the same direction, it does wonders for our marriage. What we have learned through this process is that when we dream together, we grow together. And then the 4th and final tip for having a great marriage is having an extremely hot sex life. There you go, I said it. I know you were thinking it, so I just went ahead and said it. How you define an extremely hot sex life depends on you and what stage of life and in your marriage you may be at the moment, and also may even be influenced by your physical health as well. But the goal is for you and your spouse to come together and to determine for yourselves what defines an extremely hot sex life. It is not so much determined necessarily by the frequency. It is more determined by the love and the passion and even the spirituality that is shared within that relationship. So you got to make that decision for you. So there's my 4 tips for a great marriage. Keep your eyes on Jesus, good communication, shared purpose, values, and goals, and an extremely hot sex life. I would love to hear what some of your tips are for having a great marriage. If you could put those in the comments below, I would greatly appreciate it. If you will apply those to your marriage, it will increase the aliveness in your marriage, it will make your marriage great, and it will feed your enthusiasm. Hey guys, so that you won't miss future tips on how to feed your enthusiasm, click the subscribe button.